welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 22nd January 2025. So let's get started. Before that I want to make a small announcement, guys. So we are going to start new GS Prelims cum Mains Foundation course. So you can join in this week, and this course will be started by your history only. So history will be taken by Rasul sir, who is having 14 years of experience. So here don't delay, so that you will be losing lots of classes. So try to join in this week. And here we are providing both online and offline, and within 9 months to 11 months we are going to complete entire your GS syllabus along with regular test and as well as periodic revision test. Everything will be there, and main answer writing practice will be there from the day one itself. Okay, so let's get started with our discussion and let us see the first article, guys. Okay, so if you see the title of this first article, it says about India-US relations. Title says Trump declares. Title says Trump declares. Okay, so there is some problem, I think so. Just a minute. So actually this article is about US-India relations. As you all know that Trump 2.0 era started. Okay, so if you see this article, it is talking about Trump declares end to US citizenship by birth. So this article is very important from India-US relations, and as well as this article is important from your polity point of view as well. So there are two important dimensions that we can see. Okay, now let me write the two keywords. First one is your citizenship. First keyword is citizenship, and second keyword is India-US relations. First one is India-US relations, second one is citizenship. Okay, so this citizenship you will be studying in your GS paper 2 under polity. And this India-US relations comes under GS paper 2 under international relations, and it comes under India bilateral relations. Okay, now let us see this concept of citizenship. How you can get citizenship? Normally we have two ways. So first way is by birth. Second way is through blood relation. That means nothing but through descent. So normally US follow this phenomena of giving citizenship based on birth. That means if you are born in USA, that is called, that thing will leads to getting of US citizenship to you. So that is called as jus soli. So this concept is called as jus soli. That means you will get citizenship based on birthplace. Okay. So now why it is in use? Because so US President Trump took charge and he signed executive order of cancelling of this citizenship by birth. Okay. So here what is the impact of this? This is the thing that you have to see. So if you see here, I think there is some trouble which is coming on. I don't know what is happening. So I'll try to see that issue. Okay, I'll try to write here itself, but okay, so if you see the problems or issues regarding this cancellation of the citizenship is from India, so many people will go to USA in search of job or in education, and they'll be getting married there, right? So after that, their children will be getting the citizenship. Now here Indian based citizens whose children who born in USA, they're not going to get the citizenship of USA. Okay, and apart from this, you have to see in this Trump 2.0 era, What will be the impact? What will be the impact on India-US relations? Because we know what happened in this Trump 1.0. So it is very uncertain. And that may also continue in this Trump 2.0. So because of this, we have to see what will be the impact. And there are two editorials in our today's newspaper regarding this Trump 2.0. So we are going to see all these points together in this first article. Okay, now let us see the context why it is news. As I said, on his first day in office, US President Donald Trump signed an executive order, and this order is now abolishing long-standing provision of birthright citizenship. And this will be having impact on thousands of Indian professionals in US and who are under temporary visas, like for example H1B. So here you have to see one more thing, guys, that is types of visas given by US. So one such a type here is H1B visa. So if you are taking this H1B visa, so you can go to USA and you can continue your studies, that is higher education, and you can get job. But it is for temporary purpose only, not for permanent. So like that, you have to see the different types of visa will be provided by US. And on this area, you can get a question in your prelims. So you should be very much careful with these types of visas. Okay, now let us see what is the approach of this Trump policy. So in this 2.0 of this Trump, he is focusing on America first policy. That means he will be always giving priority to US first rather than other countries. And he also disliking multilateral agreement. So recently we discussed one article that US is going to come out of this Paris climate deal. Okay, they want to focus on bilateral agreements, but they don't want multilateral agreements like Paris climate deal or Paris agreement. And even from this Trans-Pacific partnership also they withdrawn. And next one here is their US is criticizing mainly this NATO, that is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and as well as multilateral organization like United Nations. Okay, so these are some important policy approach of this Trump in this 2.0 era. And next one is how this is going to impact global politics. So yes, of course it will be having impact, because whenever US Trump said that we are focusing on America first policy, that means he will be focusing on protectionism. Okay, because of this protectionism, that will be obviously disrupting global stability. And next one is that may also leads to trade wars. Already you know this during the Trump time in this first era. So that led to the trade war between China and US. So in the same way, it may also continue, it may escalate these trade wars between the countries. And next one here is increasing of China-US tensions also happened during this time. And next one here is global institutions, they also can be getting affected. And even because of withdrawal of US from this Paris climate deal, so here it will be downgrading climate action. So if a developed country like US is not following the norms, then what about other countries? They may not. So because of this, it will be impacting global agreements as well. So this will be the impact on global thing. And if you see, what about India-US relations then? So if you see India-US relations, Trump said one point. So if two countries are there as my choice, like China and India, my first choice is India. That means somewhat it will be improving our India-US relations for sure. Okay, and US will be giving priority for India rather than China. So because of this, it can improve some relationship. For example, if you see strategic relationship, India and US, they are having common interest. One common interest is Indo-Pacific region. Next one is countering of China. So these two ideas can bring these two countries together. And next one here is defense cooperation. And whatever the defense ties will be there, so we can strengthen that defense ties as well. And next one is Quad. So as you all know that Quad contains 4 countries. Those are India, US, Japan and Australia. So here Quad will also bring India and US together so that they can counter China together. And next one here is India's strategic autonomy. So while we are partnering with US, India will maintain some independence in its foreign policy so that we can also align with our own geopolitics. Okay, and even there is also a good relationship between our present Prime Minister Modi ji and as well as Trump, so that it will also leads to good bilateral cooperation in the future. So this is about India and US relationship. Dual citizenship. Oh, yeah. Okay, now let us see the next article. So title says, rising illegal migration can upset India's poll mechanism. So this is a statement given by our Vice President. So whenever any of our officials, whenever any other dignitaries and government officials are giving information or statements, that is very important, guys. Okay, now the key word in this article here is migration. So what is this migration? Migration is nothing but movement. Movement of people from one area to another area is called as migration. So here in India, we can see migration which happens from rural areas, rural to urban to urban areas, urban to rural areas. It is a common type of migration in India that is called as domestic migration. And there is also one more kind of migration that is called as international migration. So international migration is nothing but between countries. So India and country 1, India and country 2. So like that, whenever countries, between the countries migration is happening, that is called as international migration. And as you all know that India is sharing bond with the different countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Nepal. So there is a threat of international migration, that too illegal. So what is the meaning of illegal? Illegal is nothing but without valid documents. Wherever they are entering India without valid documents, it is called as illegal migration. For example, they got document or a permission for 6 months, but they are staying more than 6 months. It is also called as illegal migration. And if you see the countries with which India is sharing boundary, like Myanmar, like Bangladesh, like Pakistan, so there is lot of instability which is going on, right? So because of this now, people from that country, they want to save their life and they are entering into our country. So because of this illegal migration, now we are facing violence in northeastern states. Okay, there will be always issue between the valley people and hill people in northeastern states because of this illegal migration. Okay, so now this article is mainly saying that, so whenever illegal migration is happening, we will be having lots of challenges. Okay, so this article is talking about especially challenges of illegal migration. So one important point is, yeah, that's what I'll say. So if you see the challenges, so first important challenge here is there may be increasing of violence, or communal violence is one important reason of important challenge. And next one here is demography changes. Next one is demography changes. And third important point here is increasing of budget of government. Okay, somewhere it is written. So increasing of budget of government. Okay, increasing of budget. And even now government is saying that there will be alteration in poll mechanism as well. How the poll mechanism is, you can see recent Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. What it said, the people who entered into India before this December 31st, 2014, from these countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh, who are non-Muslims, they will get citizenship. So whenever they are getting citizenship, again they will get right to vote. So that will be having impact on poll mechanism. So in this way, illegal migration is also having impact on our India's poll mechanism. So this is a thing which mainly said by our Vice President. And now let us see this article in detail. Let us see what are the challenges which are given here clearly. So in a recent address in Raipur, our Vice President highlighted that there is increasing of issue of rising illegal migration in India. And he said that because of this illegal migration, it is also having impact on our electoral system of our country. Okay, so first important point which is focused in this article here is there is a huge scale of illegal migration. So because of this illegal migrants, whenever they are growing, that will lead to the resource allocation to that people, so that it will be causing financial burden on the government, and on another side it will also having the impact on integrity of democracy process as well. And even illegal migrants are also influencing this electoral outcomes as well through voting, which raises some ethical questions about representation as well as fairness in our democratic process. And even there are lots of governance challenges that we are going to face because of this illegal migrants, that is lack of structural response and even systemic weakness in our policy making, enforcement mechanism. So all these are the issues. And next one here is we have to provide them housing, healthcare, education. So that will also leads to exacerbating of our societal issues, and even sometimes it will lead to conflict between the local people who are present in this area and newcomers. That will lead to destabilization of the communities there. Okay, so these all are the problems which are highlighted in this article. Clear? And now let us see next topic. Title says CAG report highlights serious staff shortage in Kerala hospitals. So CAG is nothing but Comptroller Auditor General of India, right? So here the keyword is CAG. So in which subject you will be seeing about this CAG? We have GS paper 2 under polity, because it is a constitutional body. And next one is GS paper 3 under economy, because it will do audits. And even in GS paper 4 in your ethics, you have this subject. That is nothing, you have this chapter called as accountability and transparency. If you want to improve accountability and transparency in governance system, we have to go for proper audit. That is done through this CAC. And actually, regarding this CAC, there is a mains question 2024 in your GS paper 2. So just go through that. Okay, so what are the points you have to see? You have to see about what are the constitutional provisions. That is nothing but what are the articles in our constitution talks about this CAC. That is article 148. And next you have to see what is the role of CAC, role and responsibilities. Okay, so if you see that, that is enough. And from economy point of view, how can we manage the public fund efficiently? So from that point of view, you can see this article, right? Okay, now let us see the context clearly. Okay, so it said that CAG report is saying that there are lots of inefficiencies which is happening in Kerala. So if you see the constitutional provisions, Article 148 of our Indian Constitution talks about Comptroller Auditor General of India. So you may get a very simple question like Comptroller Auditor General of India. So which of the following article talks about it? That is Article 148. And CAG, it is the head of Indian Audit and Accounts Department. And even CAG is the guardian of public purse, and CAG will control entire financial system of our country at the both the levels, at the central level and as well as at the state level. And the duty of this CAG, it is to uphold the Constitution of India and as well as laws of Parliament in the field of financial administration. It will be entirely responsible for financial administration and doing of audits. So if you see some important functions of this CAG, the first important function is it will do audit. Okay, it will do audits and related to the accounts, all expenditure of the Consolidated Fund of India. So regarding CFI, whatever the expenditure they did, so the audit will be done by CAG. And even Consolidated Fund of State will be taken care of this CAG. And the audits, and it also audits expenditure from even Contingency Fund of India and as well as Public Accounts of India. So normally we have three funds in the central government, that is CFI, first one, that is Consolidated Fund of India, next one is contingency fund and public accounts fund. So all these three will be audited by CAG, and even consolidated fund of state also can be included. And also this CAG will be auditing about trading, manufacturing, how much amount of profit we got, loss, balance sheets and other subsidiary accounts which will be related to our central governments and as well as state governments. And even this CAG audits the receipts and expenditure of the central and also states, so that they will satisfy that the state and central government, they are following the rules and procedures. Okay, and it also audits transactions of central and state governments related to debt, related to sinking funds, deposits, advances, suspense accounts, remittances. So all these things will be getting audited by this CAG. Okay, so that's it. And see this article, very important. Nehru port to enter top global ports with 10 million TEUs by 2047. So here TEU nothing but 20 foot equivalent units. Okay, 20 foot equivalent units. So if I get a question like TEU is in use, so what is the full form? That is 20 foot equivalent units. So this article is talking about two important things. First one is Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, that is JNPA, and next one is global ports. Okay, so global ports is one keyword and next one is JNPA. So we'll be studying about different ports of our country in your geography. Okay, whenever you are seeing this transportation system, you will be seeing about the important ports on western coasts and important ports on eastern coasts. Okay, so there you will be studying about these ports. And even we have different types of ports like entry ports, like that. So here you have to see what is this JNP port is about, what is the Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority in Mumbai, and why this article is significant, because it is India's first port to enter top global ports with high transactions that happened so far. So because of this is the news. Okay, now how we can connect this topic with our economy? So actually we have an ambitious goal of achieving Viksit Bharat by 2047. So if this kind of advancement which happens in our country, then only we can enter into that list, right? So through this article, we can say that yes, India is going to achieve $5 trillion economy, and as well as we can achieve this Viksit Bharat uh, by 2047. Okay, so from this way, you can collect this kind of article so that you can give evidence that yes, India can achieve its goal. Okay, so now let us see the context clearly. So this article is saying that Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority in Mumbai is said to be India's first port to enter top global ports with 10 million TEU, that is 20 foot equivalent units by 2027. So this is a statement given by our Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. So if you see the important details here, in 2024, this port which had been handled highest ever container volumes, okay, and highest ever trade exchange is happening here. So because of this, by 2027, we can reach this 10 TMU, okay, TUs. So because of this port is going to enter into this global port. So if you see some facts regarding this Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, it is located in Navy Mumbai, and when it was commissioned in year 1989, and it is a premier container handling port. So this is well known for container handlings in India, and about 50% of our total containerized cargo volume which happens through this major port of India. And even in 2021 report itself, out of 100 important ports globally, it is ranked 26, and by 2027 we are going to rank in top 10. Okay, so this is the advancement. Okay, now let us see other articles, guys. So here there are two articles in our today's newspaper which talks about India-France relations. So if you see the two titles, India-France to work together on maritime surveillance. First topic it is about maritime surveillance, and the second article in the same page which said that India-France discuss civil nuclear issues. So here regarding India and France, we are going to have some developments in relations. First one is we are focusing on maritime surveillance and next one is civil nuclear issues. So if you connect with the recent current affairs that we studied, so 9 countries navies they are doing some multilateral exercise in Indo-Pacific region, right? So what is that exercise name? That is LAPEROS. So from that point of view, here we are focusing on improving of maritime surveillance. And the second area here is we are also going to boost cooperation high-end technologies in this nuclear sector. So these are the two important things that you have to see. So whenever you are getting any current affairs, try to interconnect with the next days or after 2 days current affairs. There will be obviously interlinking. So if you are good at interlinking, then your work will become easy and you can write a very good multi-dimensional answer, believe me. Okay, so this article is important from your international relations from GS paper 2 and as well as from GS paper 3 under internal security also. This article is important because we are having lots of threats from this maritime arena. Okay, Mumbai terror attacks is because of entry of this terrorists through this maritime attack. So because of this maritime surveillance, maritime security is very important for India because it is having a very large coastline of 7,500 kilometers. So we can't expect any time that where the threat will come. So because of this, international cooperation is very important. Okay, now let us see this article in detail. So what are the points which are given in this articles? Let us see together. So India and France, they embarked on collaboration initiative and we are focusing on improving of maritime security and surveillance in Indo-Pacific region, especially Indian Ocean region. And this agreement, why we made? Because of 7th India-France Maritime Cooperation Dialogue. So between India and France, 7th cooperation dialogue which is going on. So in this, now we came up with this maritime initiative. And especially through this agreement, we are going for sharing of information and as well as addressing of various maritime threats. So normally, even our defense minister, he gave a statement in the recent past that there is increased threat in this Gulf of Aden and as well as Red Sea, right? So if you go back with your earlier current affairs, that is a statement which is given by our defense minister. So because of this, yes, we are obviously having the threats like piracy, armed robbery, marine pollution, cyber security risk. To address all these things, yes, we need to have this kind of maritime cooperation. And if you see the key points which are given in this article, the first one is this collaboration between India and France in this maritime surveillance, which is a very, very important step because India can ensure regional security. As you all know that India is leader of global south and it's responsibility of Indian government to provide security in this region. And next one here is there is increasing of various maritime threats. So for this surveillance is very important. We can get that through this agreement. And next important point you have to see is comprehensive threat management. So whenever we are having this joint assessment of threats, okay, we can go for identification, we can go for easily monitoring of issues. For example, piracy, illegal fishing, and even protection of regional resources, and even we can ensure the safety of commercial shipping routes, and we can ensure freedom of navigation, protection of choke points, everything. And next one here is, as I said, the second area where we are focusing on is about civil nuclear energy. That means we are focusing on nuclear power. So as you all know that India is transitioning towards non-renewable energy towards renewable energy. We are focusing on increasing of our energy from these renewable sources. There we are focusing on solar energy, green hydrogen, and we can also focus on this nuclear energy. So here regarding this production of civil nuclear energy is nothing but whatever the energy that we are producing, that we will be using for only civilian purpose. That means for the common people. Okay. So here lots of complexities that we are having in this nuclear power. That is like high cost, legal liabilities, everything. So if you are having this cooperation between these two countries, so we can place nuclear energy as a part of future energy strategies. If you want to harness more energy from this nuclear thing, then we need to have this kind of partnerships. And next one here is regarding AI. Also, we are going to have something because we are going to have this upcoming AI summit in the month of February, that is around February 10th. We are having this AI summit, right? So here it will be providing a good opportunity for India because India itself is a leader in emerging technologies. So in this summit, India can showcase about what are the advancements we had and even what are the innovations we did, and we can also align with the France interest in high technological development as well. And even other areas of discussions between India and France like defense, space, cyber security, and even bilateral relations, so everything. Okay, so in this way this India and the France relations are going forward. So if you see in the recent past with India and Russia, with India and France, with India and US, so India's relationship is very good. So you can expect a question regarding that. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says DRDO holds key test for hypersonic missiles. So this article is talking about hypersonic. So based on the speed of traveling of missiles, we can divide it into different types like subsonic, supersonic, hypersonic. So this article is talking about hypersonic. Hypersonic is nothing but the speed will be Mach 5. That means 5 times the speed of sound. Okay, speed of sound. So this is about this thing, and we need this kind of hypersonic missiles because we are having always threat from Pakistan across LOC region, that is line of control, and across LAC region we have threat from China. So we don't know like in which time we have to go for war, right? So for that we have to be ready with our missiles. Okay, and next article here is the price of success. So this article is talking about Kerala's maternal mortality ratio. In the recent past, I think 2 to 3 days ago, we discussed about this Kerala's maternal mortality ratio. So there is increasing of MMR. There is increasing of maternal mortality ratio in Kerala. Okay, so maternal mortality rate is nothing but for 1,000 live births. Sorry, for 1 lakh live births. So how many women they are dying, like pregnant women or after delivering? So here this article is saying that. So this article is saying that Kerala's rising maternal mortality ratio is not at a cause of concern. So why? Because there is decreasing of TFR. Normal TFR is 2.1, but it is decreased to 1.9 in India. So TFR, the number of live births are decreasing. The number of live births are decreasing. So in this birth, here if normally MMR is happening, so this is becoming like a big figure now. So if TFR we are increasing, obviously this MMR will be decreasing. So this is the thing which mainly said. Okay, nothing more than regarding that. Just see about what is this TFR. That is nothing but total fertility rate. That means in the reproductive age of a woman, how many children she will be giving birth is called this TFR. So now it is decreasing because of increasing of literacy rate, increasing of women empowerment. Women are choosing their independence rather than motherhood. So like that, what are the changes that happen because of industrialization, because of modernization, westernization, lots of impact which is there on this reproductive capability of women. That led to decreasing of TFR. So because of decreasing of TFR, now this MMR is appearing as a big figure in Kerala. And you have to see what is the impact of decreasing of TFR. So whenever TFR is decreasing, that means young age population will be decreasing, old age population will be increasing. So whenever old age population will be increasing, so again it will be burden on the government for social security schemes. So all these things are interconnected, you have to see. And next topic it is about what is the status of smart cities mission. So whenever you are getting any scheme in the news, you have to focus on that because every year in your prelims you will get 2 to 3 prelims based question, and even in your mains also you will be getting analysis based question regarding schemes, and even in your interview. So I'm doing interviews now. most of the panel members, you're asking about Trump 2.0 impact on India. For example, if you are an engineer, especially working in IT, so what is this H1B visa they are asking? And what will be the impact of this Trump 2.0 on this H1B visa? So what do you think? And next, they are talking about trade, how it will be impacting between India and USA. And also they are asking about major schemes which are there in news. Okay, so you have to be very well. And I'm asking questions on like famous dignitaries who are giving any statements. Recently, Prime Minister gave a statement regarding automobile hub, and even Defense Minister gave a statement regarding threats in this Red Sea region. And even recently, lots of the statements are there in news. I'm asking questions on that. So you have to very much clear about what you are thinking. So I wish you that prelims is there are three different stages like prelims, mains, and interview. But many of them feel that prelims is difficult. But the difficult part is interview, because you can't expect from where the question will come. Sometimes it will be from DAF. If it is from DAF, you're safe because you know everything about your DAF. But if it is based on current affairs, then you will be falling into the trap of that people. So normal interview questions will be there from your DAF or interview. Okay, sorry, DAF or current affairs. In that current affairs, they may ask international issues or domestic issues. So if they are asking domestic issues, if they are from your state, you are lucky enough. But if they are not from your state, again you have to be fall in the trap. Or if they are asking from international things, very deep questions, then you will be falling under the trap. So you have to be very careful, and whenever you are reading your newspaper, whenever you are starting your preparation from that time onwards, you have to think in this interview point of view only. Okay, I'm not neglecting this prelims and mains, but if you're preparing from interview, obviously you'll be preparing both mains and prelims, guys. Okay, now let us see about this topic. Smart Cities initiative was based on what? IoT, that is Internet of Things. So it will be working in a well advanced capitalist society with basic utilities. They're already in place. Okay, so actually governance of these projects had been bypassed in local governments, and now especially we are relying on special purpose vehicles which had been registered under this Companies Act. Okay, so just see about, so just leave all these things. So just see about what is a smart cities mission. And I asked one question regarding the smart cities mission. So when we can say a city as a smart city? So what are the important features of a smart city? So you have to see the basic thing. So what does a smart city means? So what are the basic features? How can we differentiate with a city with the smart city? And what are the advantages of the smart cities? And what is the government scheme is about? So what are the features of the, try to understand from the basic level. So then only you can connect with that topic clearly. And if there is any question from prelims or mains, then you can tackle with that with the common sense. Okay, and even common sense is very important while you're answering your interview questions. So for that you have to know the basic things. What is a smart city? So what are the special features? How it is different from the normal city and a smart city? What are the more advantages of city than the smart city? And what are the government scheme features? So how it will be helpful for the people? So whether it is use or useless. So like that, try to analyze your own self and try to get your own perspective, guys. No one will be teaching all this. Okay, try to understand and try to see from this area. Then obviously you will be not taking many attempts to clear this. If you're focusing from the first onwards in all these dimensions from the basic point, so you can clear even the first attempt. Believe me. Okay, so these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. I want to remind you once again, so we started GS Prelims Cum Mains Foundation course 2 days ago. So you can join in this week. Don't delay. Okay, delay much. That's it, guys. And do subscribe to Rathods Science Academy, and don't forget to like and share this class.